How's it going, YouTube? Looking good. Marty's here, and it's been a while since my last soiree into the video medium. But I'm here. It's been a busy couple weeks. We packed up the caravan and went to the Decibel Metal and Beer Festival. Set up a table. Had a great time. Drove down to Wellsburg, West Virginia, picked up Aaron from Nechachwen to help with the table. Myself and Jim Clifton, who owns Iwaz Recordings. We had a fucking great time, man. And I must say, the venue was amazing. The organization was amazing. You know, a lot of the bands were really good, even though I didn't really care to see many of them. I got to nerd out a little bit. Dan Lilker was there. I went up and shook his hand. I don't typically get starstruck per se, but there was nobody there, and he was standing there, and I had to go up and say hi and how I appreciated his work over the years. And same with Ross Dolan from Immolation. His Immolation's merch table was right next to ours, so I chatted with Ross for a few minutes and chatted with Bob for a few minutes, and man, such humble and great fucking dudes. But Ross was actually the first person I ever interviewed back in 1995 for Worm Gear Zine, so I had to thank him for setting my writing career in motion. But yeah, talked about the old days a little bit with them, and fantastic. We'll get to and basically right now what I have is just a stack of shit that I've acquired recently. I acquired more at the fest, but as we were packing up to leaving in the hurry to get out the door, we left a package of shit we bought behind, and the Falls of Roros guys ended up with it. So that's on the way. So I'll have more stuff to show soon. Just a few CDs. But in the background, I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if you can or not. Doesn't matter. Final Conflict, Ashes to Ashes. I've been listening to a little more hardcore / crossover stuff lately, just because it's nice to recharge the batteries, so to speak. Speaking of crossover and hardcore, there is a guy out, a new channel out. If you have not seen Ground Zero Salem, his name is Pat, and he is a super killer dude and has a super killer channel. Right now I'm anxiously looking forward to every video the guy puts out, because he's an older dude. He's into punk, he's into hardcore, he's into metal, he's into death metal, he's into all facets of the genres. I can relate to his stories, his tastes, and he's a super smart dude, and he puts out exceptional content. Do yourself a favor, check out Ground Zero Salem. I will, if I remember, I will put a link to his channel in the description section. But yeah, that's out of the way. So here's some shit. This isn't going to be and I also have to thank everybody for coming on the overrated albums or bands thread and saying your piece. I anticipated getting a little bit of backlash from that, but everybody kept it really conversational, and it was a good debate. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to definitely be doing more of that, because there's a lot of bands that are overrated in my eyes that don't get called out for it. And I'm also going to do an underrated video here one of these minutes when I get some time. But anyway, new shit. While we were in Wellsburg, West Virginia, Aaron, who is in Nechachwen, and he's also in a Greek band called End, doing vocals. While we were there, he was kind enough to give me a couple things, one of which is this Torrid Husk End Split CD, which is also out on cassette. Torrid Husk is a West Virginia band, black metal, very interesting and good. End is a Greek black metal band, which Aaron sings for. On this split, Torrid Husk does 3 songs, originals, it looks like And N does 2 original songs and a Amoebix cover of the song Winter, which seems to be a very popular song in the Amoebix catalog for bands to cover. But anyway, excellent split. This is a little gatefold slimline deal, which is annoying, but I get it. There's less of an environmental impact, which I'm down with. Someone's got to be, with this current administration running us into the fucking grave. Anyway, also, we were going through Aaron's small but very impressive vinyl collection, and he pulls this baby out, which I have on cassette. I've had on cassette since back in the day, and I've always been looking for a copy of this on vinyl, which I never wanted to pay the eBay prices for it because I was a little bit outside of the realm where things started to tip with prices going through the roof. But I commented, I'm like, man, I've been looking for this a long time. This is really cool that you have this. And he basically said, you can have it. So, mind blown. And this thing is in fucking pristine, fantastic shape. It doesn't even sound like the vinyl's ever been played, to be honest with you. I listened to it. There's not a pop or scratch on it. Two-sided, kind of pointless insert. It's destruction at their most raw and primitive. Elements of technicality are definitely there, which they stepped up more so as they moved on. But I'm very thankful to Aaron for giving me this, and thanks, brother. It means a lot. I love it. I've listened to it like 4 times already. It's cool to have in the collection. Next up, one of the cool things about the Immolation dudes is, yeah, they're super, super nice. And as we got to talking, I mentioned that I wanted to buy their latest Atonement, which I have not heard a single thing of. And Ross is like, this is our last one. You can have it. They would not take money for it. So, Immolation, Atonement. This album, holy shit balls, is it fucking amazing. I mean, Immolation have never put out a bad album as far as I'm concerned. I'm getting a glare. Sorry. They've never put out a bad album. And one thing that's always kind of plagued them has been production, as far as I'm concerned. But this album, it mixes their bizarre technicality and excellent songwriting with a very organic, full, crushing production. This is, I mean, I really enjoyed the album that came before it. I can't remember. And Harness and the last 2 albums, I'm drawing a blank. I've got them all, but both. I've got them both. Those are both fucking great albums, but this really steps up the game, and I cannot stop listening to this album. I've been spinning it constantly, back and forth, in the truck, over and over and over. Lots of other shit I could be listening to, but this is eating up all of my listening appreciation. Definitely, if you have not heard Immolation's Atonement, get it. It's fucking that good. Crushing. Get it. What are you doing? Get it, motherfucker. Get it. Next up, I got this from Wyatt. Like as I was saying a couple videos back, I'm in the replenishing my Immortal CDs, the ones that I wanted anyway, with vinyl, and Wyatt had this for a pretty good price, so I bought it from him. At the Heart of Winter. I know Ben, Brain Smasher, would love to put an Iowa steamer right on this fucking jacket, but I love it. It's great. Every riff on here is golden. There's a few albums out there that can do it. This one is their last really good one as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, Damned in Black was okay. The one after it, Sons of Northern Darkness, I really didn't like that one, but this is great. Yes, it's a departure from the Bathory hyperspeed leanings of their early material. Good. Good shit. And I'm going to put this back in here because that's what you people pay to see, right? Put it in there nice and slow for you. That was nice. Alright, next up. I'll do the whoring last. Also on the trip to Philly, I mentioned going with Jim from Iowa's, who is one of my best friends in the world. I love this guy. He did some shopping, and at the table he bought, Relapse table, he bought the reissue of Death Scream Bloody Gore. This is like a weird pinkish, I don't know, maybe it's red with a splatter. He bought this. He's pretty psyched about it, only to find out when he got home that he had already had it. Which, it happens. I've done it. I've done it before. I've gone shopping on eBay and bought something kind of expensive while I was drunk, only to find out that I already fucking had it and I had to give it away to a friend. But this is an excellent, I have not yet listened to it, but the way it's all done, the insert and the vinyl and the way the artwork has been reproduced is a, this is the red with bone splatter version, limited to 200 copies. Good to know. I have a radio promo of this on vinyl, and this is ultimately my favorite Death record. Why? Probably because it's the first Death record I ever heard. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to say about this other than it's fucking great. You know, Mutilation is my favorite Death song. Sacrificial, Baptized in Blood. Bam. Great. Updated. Not mutilated copy. And it's nice to have. And thank you, Jim, for passing this down. Next up, there was a record show in Traverse City this past weekend. Picked up a few things. There wasn't much there. It was kind of underwhelming, but I picked up a few things. Subhumans, From the Cradle to the Grave, and 2929 Split Vision. This is a UK punk band. To me, they're best. The first thing I ever got from them is a cassette of the EPLP, which I believe Pat has shown on vinyl, a reissue of it. My favorite material by this band. It's just really stripped down punk with a heavy British accent. This album I have on cassette also. It's just really well written. Sometimes they're a little metallic. Sometimes they throw in a little bit of ska / reggae, which, it always surprises me how much the reggae bug bit England. But it's not very dominant in this. It's just slightly there. This is a great album. Enjoyed it. Listened to it several times. This album I never had. I was getting it to basically fill in the collection. I'm still missing a few things by them, like maybe 2 albums. I also have Worlds Apart on cassette and The Day the Country Died. But this album started to lose me a little bit. Songs weren't as potent. Started to wander a little bit of that ska influence kind of creeped in. This band ended up breaking up for a while, and the members went on to work on their other project called Citizen Fish, which was kind of reggae based, I believe. But yeah, Subhumans. Check out the EPLP. Check out The Day the Country Died. Check out From the Cradle to the Grave. All good shit. If you like punk, definitely will set you in the right motion. This I got for cheap. For $6. It's in great shape. I have not listened to it yet. It even has the insert, which is... Does it? Yeah. I'm not a Saxon fan. And this came across my fingers in the record show, and I figured I'd give it a shot for $6. I don't know if there's anything. Sailing to America, Just Let Me Rock. Bad Boys Like to Rock and Roll. Do It All For You, Set Me Free, The Crusader Prelude, Crusader, A Little Bit of What You Fancy, Rock City, Run For Your Lives. I really don't anticipate myself liking this. If not, probably going to send this along as VCLT to one lucky person. Of course, a lot of people that I know that are into this band probably already have this, but it's a thought that counts, right? And lastly, on the record show thing in Traverse City, I'm a late convert to Thin Lizzy due to being blown, oversaturated Northern Michigan classic rock radio. It is rough. They play all the hits all the time, and it's fucking annoying, but Thin Lizzy, Johnny the Fox. I got this for $7. I think he gave it to me for $5. A lot of people rant and rave about this album, so I had to pick it up for $5. And there are a couple songs on here that I think are fantastic, but I think there's a lot of overblown kind of 70s overblown anthem-y type. I don't know, this one just didn't click with me that much. A couple good songs. Don't Believe a Word. Is that the name of it? Yep, it's a great song. I've only listened to it once. I really prefer Thunder and Lightning. Thunder and Lightning to me, and Jailbreak. Those two are really great records. This is just a little overblown, like the concept was bigger than... I don't know where I was going. I totally forgot what I fucking said. Anyway, it's okay. I'm glad I got it. These next few things are related to that right there, in one way or another. I've been listening to this a lot. This is Cold Fells. This is a self-titled debut, full length. This is members of, well, it has Johnny from Horse Drawn and Plague Wielder, and also Aaron Carey and Andrew DeCogna from Nechachwin. Fantastic, very doomish, with black metal flavor and a bit of Americana thrown in. I love this record. We did a limited releasing. I co-released this with Iwaz Recordings and the band themselves as a 3-way split. 100 copies, sold out in basically a weekend, which is great. Thank you all for coming out and supporting this. It's on Spotify now for those of you that would like to hear it. It's really good shit. You should check it out. I don't know if there's going to be another pressing of this. There is not going to be another pressing of the vinyl, but there is we're not sure yet on the CD. I don't know if there will be or not. Another thing that just came out on Bindrune Recordings is Via Remnant Light. It's a one-man project from Australia. And it comes in a gatefold black vinyl. This is basically his third release. It was initially came out 3 years ago. He put it out himself on Bandcamp and released 50 limited CDs of this, which he got a hold of Nordvis and signed them, and I jumped on as well. It's good stuff. If you're a fan of Panopticon, it's that sort of highbrow, expansive, atmospheric black metal. Really deep content. If you're into that sort of thing, definitely check out Via Remnant Light. We have CD and LP available. Definitely, I will put a link to the shop in the description. And these just came in after a long haul of trouble getting copies of these and running out, and before pre-orders were filled. It was just a mess. But it's finally come to pass. Penfaga with Dringskapper. I'm saying Dringskapper wrong because I'm American and I can only speak one language poorly. That's the way that it rolls. This is put out by Nordvis, and this is a fucking fantastic record. Penfaga is a one-man Swedish black metal project, very much in the vein of early Arcanum, but in a lot of ways better than early Arcanum. His riff writing is so fucking catchy. There's a bit of a folk tinge to it. The way it all comes together is exceptional, and this is a fantastic release. This is his latest release. We've got a couple pre-orders up for older material that have never been on CD, I don't think. It's only been tapes. So, yeah, it's exciting stuff. We got a bunch of these in stock now. If you are ready, it comes with single LP, an insert, centering around some guy. I don't know. And the vinyl, this is the second pressing. The vinyl is very cool. It's like a dark blue, black marble thing going on. We have copies. You should get one, man. It's a great album. I'm not bullshitting you. Good shit. And lastly, I've made it known on this channel numerous times that I am a huge fan of Fate's Warning, John Arch era Fate's Warning in particular. You know, the Ray Alder stuff is fine. I'm just not It's just not my thing. It's okay. It's all right. I don't love it, but it's okay. Where am I going with this? John Arch. Yes. He came out of retirement some years ago and got together with Jim Mateos, and they did a John Arch EP mini CD called A Twist of Fate, which was 2 songs. Fantastic. Oh my god, blew my brain out. Love it. I still listen to it a lot these days. They got back and did a full-length Arch Mateos. Sympathetic Resonance. Again, a full-length. People said it sounded new metal-y. They're fucking stupid. It sounds like really heavy, progged out, old-style metal. Fantastic. I absolutely worship that record. And so, in celebration last year of 30 years of Fate's Warning's Awaken the Guardian, the original lineup got back together, including John Arch, including Steve Zimmerman. And they did some shows playing Awaken the Guardian in its entirety. They played Keep It True Fest in Germany, and they played Prog Power. And they recorded it for a 2 LP set, Awaken the Guardian Live. I'm not much of a bundle guy, but this I wasn't letting slide. It comes with, I opted for the 2 LP set, the Blu-ray, and where is it? Comes with that poster right there. The packaging and the artwork is fucking fantastic. The performances, the LP is the Keep It True set, which is really good, man. The music sounds so good, so heavy. John sounds really good. I know I heard an interview on YouTube where he said that about 75% of the performance is legit. And of course they touched up a few things in the studio afterwards, like most bands do with live shit, to have a good product to present to people who weren't at the fest, you know. To sit at home and listen to something, you don't want to hear a bunch of out-of-tune shit when it could be perfect. So they didn't make it perfect, but they made it feel very authentic. You know, I've watched a bunch of handheld, fan-filmed shit with their phones online for both shows, and yeah, sour notes here and there. John still killed it after all these years. His soaring pipes. He's stayed in shape. He sounds fucking fantastic, and he sounds like no one else. A very unique singer. So yes, I was very thrilled to get this. It's a 2 LP set. I opted for the purple vinyl, which I'm not going to show you. Inside, there is printed inner sleeves, pictures, you know, it blows me away how talented and tasteful this music is to this day. And seeing it live, seeing Steve Zimmerman play those drum beats, I think with the original recording of Awaken the Guardian, I think his performance really gets lost in the wash of feedback or reverb. This guy is a powerful hitter, and he is coming up with super creative fills and drum beats to emulate this super complex. I mean, it's not like super technical, like, you know, mathematical. It's just the quality of notes chosen in the songs, the interplay between guitars, the riff work, the solo work, the bass lines, you know, with these super intricate soaring vocals with lyrics that are just so well written, crammed in, like every inch of music is crammed with John's lyrics, which a lot of people have always been annoyed by, but I fucking love it, man. It's just a great thing. And the Blu-ray, I watched it twice last night. In fact, I fell asleep watching it a second time. So I essentially listened to Awaken the Guardian in its live form 5 times yesterday. Which isn't a bad thing. The Blu-ray has the entire Keep It True set, which is on the vinyl and the CD. Excuse me. And the entire Prog Power set, which is, it starts with the Prog Power set, and I gotta say, I think John's vocal performance on the Prog Power is almost damn near perfect, spot on. I think the heaviness of the Keep It True Fest musically is maybe a little bit better, but both of these are pro shot with high def cameras. The sound is great, and it's just an excellent. Both concerts are an excellent celebration for what is an amazing, amazing album. I really hope. John alluded in his YouTube interview that he is already working on material for the next Arch Matheos release. So fingers crossed that's gonna fucking happen. It'd be a shame that such a vocal talent would be sitting on the sidelines while the rest of the world moves by him again. He's proven that he can come back, he can still compete, and still can put out amazing fucking music. But I've prattled on for almost 30 minutes. So I'm going to end it here, but it was good seeing y'all, and thanks for those that came up at the fest and said hello. I met in person Adam. It was good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello, and your input on the city before we got there. It was very, very nice of you and kind. And Brandon, who goes as Scum from Scourge of Vinyl, he stopped by the table, bought a few things, said hello. Brandon, it was nice to meet you, man. And that's it. I'll be back with a video soonish. It's always easier to keep doing videos after I shoot one. If I take too long of a time, it's like I don't feel like doing it until I do it. But anyway, it was good seeing y'all. Have a good one. Take care.